What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all know what it is coming in for another live. And actually, I wasn't. Sound really want to be doing any more lives like that. I was gonna start doing pre-recorded, but I had to come in and talk about this. Um, y'all know I gotta check my body. Uh-oh. Let me see how I sound. Jay, what's up? What's up? You got 50 names on there, Jay. Let me see. Let me turn it up. Let me see. It's like an echo. Hmm. Okay. Good enough. All right. I'm not going to play none of the news clips from none of the shootings. Y'all know me. I try not to do that. I do not want to do that. I don't want to talk about any of the victims. None of that. We just want to talk about the press conference that the superintendent and mayor, the mayor had. So let me find that. And we want to break that down. But also, before we do that, listen, guys, I got something big in the works coming up, like soon. And honestly, I'm gonna need you guys' support. Like I'm serious about that now. And I'm going to be doing that. My updates and everything. You seen what I'm doing that on my other channel, which I would be downtown. I just got offered into a major program. So, hey, I'm out here really trying to make things happen. So, um, but I would not be showing none of that here on this channel. No. My other channel, um, definitely you get to see what I'm doing. First time ever, doing something major like this downtown. So I'm kind of happy about that. But I'm gonna need you guys' support. Like seriously, like support the channel now. This is serious. So it's something really major. So I'm definitely gonna need you guys' support. So I'm not just now like out here just asking, and you know, just to be like, hey, I'm AJ, I'm doing this and I need support. No, I'm out here, I'm out here making major moves. I've been doing this, but I'm not saying like you guys haven't supported me in the past, you know. A lot of you have, but now I definitely gonna need your support. So, you see the cash app. I'm gonna add my PayPal over there on my other channel. PayPal, other means of you be able to support me. So, come on, guys, show me, your wit towards, seeing black men making big moves. So we'll see. Um, but it's going to be over there on the other channel. Um, Maybe eventually I'll put it over here again. Um, but definitely a lot of that they already know what the other channel is. So, but let me tell you this: you knuckleheads to be over here, that in the past that hated. Oh, did I freeze? That hated. You try to come over there. I see that you're over there. I'm blocking you instantly. So yeah, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all still be over here stalking. So you try to come over there, and, you will be blocked. And I would know. Trust me. So, but definitely support. Definitely gonna need you guys support, but I'm gonna show you from the support what I'm doing. Regardless, I'm gonna make it happen regardless. But just make it even more better when I know people behind support me. It's like, and I'm not just saying you people, anybody else that's new to the channel or whatever that come here and find my channel and listen to uh, the content that I put out there. But just in in general. I be in some people's streams, and they don't be talking about nothing, and it's just support everywhere. But when it comes to us, and there's been a lot of complaints towards like we don't help each other, but we need to. And you seeing a guy that's out there, a black man that's actually out there doing something, you still don't do it, but you be so quick to go to someone else that's not doing his, or just out here just, talking about other content creators or, replaying they shit. Like, come on, what we doing? That's messy, man. That's effeminate to me too. So, well, we'll see, because as a black man, you out here trying to better yourself, trying to better the kids, try to better the neighborhood, whatever. They look down on you. So, if you're not entertaining some of these people, um, when you sit there ask for support, they, oh, you be begging and all this nonsense, whatever. So we'll see. We'll see. It don't matter, because honestly, when I go to my other channel and I really start promoting what I'm doing, that's, it's people I know that's out there. It's black people that's going to be willing to support me. It's just like I know over here, it's just a lot of, nonsense and showing you really, the Keishas and Tyrones that's that's out there over here on this side. That's just about destruction, hate, and all that other non-shit. Uh, well, things that don't matter. That they willing to support. So I have to make sure I tell you guys that, but I'm really gonna start pushing it. But we'll see on this end. We'll see. On my other end, I think I'll be fine. On the channel, I think I'll definitely, and it probably won't honestly be even from like mostly blacks. It probably just be, whites too, because I got whites that follow me on my other channel. Um, so that's fine. It don't matter. I would think here, I know mostly black. I see my analytics. Mostly it's black on this channel. Well, my other channel, no, this is heavily mixed, which it's tech, cars, things, so I could see that. But here, mostly black men, and we'll see. And the Negroes too. A lot of Negroes follow me, so the haters. But let's get into it. Let's see. Share. Yeah, I seen this. I listened to this, and I said, wow. Let's see. There we go. Oh, I want a different, kind of a different angle. Let's see. That. All right. I want to be in the screen. So what we want to do, I want to make this big. I definitely want to make this big, because this was, I appreciate it. With Brandon doing this, y'all gonna hear the craziness in this. Y'all haven't heard it yet. This was a crazy press conference. I'm trying to see how can I make myself bigger. I am small in this. I guess I can't. Let's see. I have to learn how to make myself bigger. Look at me, definitely small in this. So it's solo. Okay, we'll just go with it for now. Not a big deal, because I'm about to cut my camera off anyway. I really don't need to see me right now. The grief, I could barely see me. So let's go through this. I'm gonna keep my mic on because I'm gonna be pausing it. Put this over here. And yeah, we're going to discuss the full press conference. Interesting, to say the least. So maybe you go get a commercial. So if not, I'm gonna pause it. So let's go.
Wednesday, 19 killed.
Good morning,
and
everybody.
That's nearly double the numbers.
First of all, I'd just like to say I'm up here, standing here with Mayor Brandon Johnson, Chief of Detectives Antoinette Ursitti, Chief of Patrol John Hine, the Director of Community Policing Glenn Brooks, also Deputy Mayor of Public Safety Gary Gatewood, Assistant Deputy Mayor of Community Safety Natasha Scott, and also the Mayor's Chief of Staff Christina Zayas. I'd like to start off to talk about the violence over the 4th of July weekend. This past Friday, I was in Greater Grand Crossing for an Operation Wake Up that we hosted for a community that was grieving the loss of 2 mothers and an 8-year-old. Also, 2 other children who were shot and fighting for their lives. There was also a 1-year-old at that location inside the home who luckily and thankfully was not harmed, but was traumatized by the event that occurred in that home. During the gathering, I saw a neighborhood that was heartbroken, angry, fed up, but I also saw a neighborhood that wanted to come together and come up with a plan.
Because I think I posted something with that situation, but I really didn't want to speak on that. But from the other videos that I saw, when they actually had a press conference over there was a lot of people just hanging out. Like I said, I'm not going to show them videos. That was terrible what happened. That was crazy. But there was a lot of people over there on the porch just hanging out. So, but I talk about a little bit more, not just with that neighborhood, but other neighborhoods too.
Plan to fight this type of violence, this type of senseless violence that took the lives of 2 mothers and an 8-year-old child. What we really have to think about is the brazenness and the behavior of those who could walk into a home and see children and women and open fire on them. I mean, it's an amazing thing to think that as a human being that you could walk in and do something like that you could see a child and open fire. When we think about this type of behavior and we think about the people in those communities, it is important to understand that not only is the Chicago Police Department, but everyone in the city of Chicago, the mayor's office, that we provide something. We provide some type of comfort for those who are going through this on a daily basis. I think all too often, we don't recognize what people in these neighborhoods are going through, especially as it relates to violent crime. Because of this, we will be hosting an emergency assistance center tomorrow to connect anyone from across the city who needs support for resources. And I'll let Director Brooks talk about that a little later. What I will tell you is that the Chicago Police Department, we're putting forth every effort to deal with this level of violence. What we have to understand is that when we're—
and I'm letting them talk for a reason, because I want y'all to kind of get the gist of, what's really going on, like towards, like people are blaming the police towards what happened. Well, Brandon go, I can't even explain. We gonna talk about towards the dumb shit Brandon, what Brandon was, what he said. So wow, but a lot of people are blaming the police about this, about all these people that was shot. So we're hearing a lot of this go around, and it's more than that. And that's kind of like what he's talking about, the superintendent. But once again, another one, he's going to be another one that's going to bite the dust. You know, you keep going under Democrats' policies and excuses, and you know he's going to be the guinea pig. That's what I tell you. This is. I'm not going to say it's going to be this many people getting shot again, but it's going to be another violent weekend. It's probably going to be multiples. So, and they're going to be pointing fingers directly at him eventually.
We're looking at this type of violence. We look at celebratory days of the year, the 4th of July and other days like it, where groups come together, large groups gather. And sometimes this violence comes out of petty arguments. People who have been together all day, they come together as a group, they've been drinking, tempers flare, and people decide that they're going to air out their differences through violence, especially gun violence. It's important to understand that and think about the effect that gun violence is having on our community.
And let me say this. I've been saying this about this guy. I really think he cares. I said that about the last superintendent. Just, it's who you're working for, And I truly believe that he's trying to really formulate a plan, to come up with some type of how can I put this? Because I do listen to him, and he's trying to get the community or the neighborhood to work with the police, and I just don't see it happening. It hasn't happened in decades. It's not going to happen. Maybe certain areas in Chicago that work with the police. That I listened to some of the aldermen. They actually was coming at him too. Well, they was coming at Brandon, but they was just saying, some of these neighborhoods don't trust the police, and then blah blah, all this other bullshit. But I really, because he probably seen it. He's been there. He's seen it with the other superintendents. He knows what's going on, but I don't think he's going to succeed.
Just think about that again. Children who are being shot in our city. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows who the offenders are in these cases. And it's really important that we work with our communities, and that our communities understand that we're trying to work with those communities, because the more information that we get from communities, it's helpful to help us apprehend these individuals who are committing these violent acts. We need to take these people off the street, and we need to keep them off the street so that they don't reoffend, so that they don't destroy other families. We have to really stop and think about
and what policies that's been implemented to do that. If I'm correct, you still got Kim Fox as the DA. So, I mean, I think sometimes he needs to be looking at Brandon saying that what he just said out of it. Or he's got to state some names. You got to say some names.
About the mindset of someone who will shoot a child, a helpless child, an unarmed mother.
They've been doing this.
And think that that's okay.
They've been doing
and
this.
Go about their days. Those people have to be taken off the street. They have to be put away. If we're not doing that, then we're failing other families. We're failing people in our city. Chicago Police Department is going to do everything that we possibly can in coordination with the mayor's office, with Deputy Mayor Gary and Gatewood, and the Office of Public Safety. What we want to do is make sure that we provide all the services that we can, but we also want to prevent this type of behavior. But the only way to do that is to apprehend those who are doing it, who are doing this.
To be honest with you, there's gonna be more victims in the future, because that's what he's trying to say. I mean, but this has been going on for decades. This is what I was gonna try to get to. Because I actually was going to talk about how you could solve this without the neighborhood, without the people, because they're not going to help you. Like what you're saying in so many words, they're not going to help you. This is their kids doing this. They're not going to help you. I wasn't trying to really go that way with this, but I talked about this a lot in the past. I have. Everybody knows this. I've seen. Somebody did a video to us with the last incident that I talked about on my last slide. They actually had them boys as they backstream. The two boys that was in the alley, they had them in as they saying, "This is Keisha product. Keisha doing this." And y'all seen when I had the video when he was leaving out the courthouse. But don't trust me. From here on out, we gonna talk about. I gave solutions before, but I'm not gonna go that route because that was more so towards with Keisha. No, now we're gonna really go there and see what's going to happen, because actually I already spoke to a couple of people about what's needed to be done, and it's a huge thing with technology, But we gonna dive more into it, but. I mean, y'all know this. This ain't nothing new to you, Superintendent Snell. You know this. You know they're not going to tell.
These types of crime, and then to hold them accountable, keep them off the street so that they can't do it again. We cannot bring back these children. If we want to avoid having these types of press conferences and these types of meetings again, we need every single person to step up. We need people to start coming forward. We need people to take responsibility. Help us help you. We want to take these people off the street. Our detective division, our police officers, our specialized units are working themselves day and night, sleepless hours, just to try to bring some level of justice to this. Because as our officers walk in and they see people who have been catastrophically injured or murdered, this is something that does not sit well with the men and women of Chicago Police Department when they walk in and see this type of carnage. We want to make sure that we bring a level of justice to these individuals. What I will tell you is this: we make adjustments as we go along. Crime does not sit still. It moves, it changes. And as the Chicago Police Department, we're flexible and we move as crime moves. We make adjustments, and we made adjustments throughout the week as we saw crime patterns hit us really hard. We will continue to do that. We're going to continue to work hard to make sure that we keep this city safe. And we're going to push the envelope when it comes to going after these violent offenders. We have to hold them accountable. Our first order of business should be those who have been victimized by violent offenders.
Yo, did y'all see it? Y'all see that? It's not funny. Y'all see this? Y'all see his face? He knows it was worse prior, but I'm not gonna go back. Wow. I mean, it's already worse, Jay. I mean, no other way to put it. Worse. That situation, they went in the victims he was just talking about. They went over there 6 in the morning and did this. And like you said, they saw the kids, and they shot the house up. They saw the kids. I believe that. It's already worse.
We cannot take our eyes off the ball. We cannot stop thinking about the people who have been victimized by this crime. That is our focus. That should be our focus, and that should be our focus throughout. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Johnson. Mayor Johnson.
Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you again, Superintendent, for your leadership. Today, I stand here today heartbroken.
Thank you, Superintendent.
Over 100 people have been shot in this city. 19 people have been killed this holiday weekend. But these are not just numbers on pages. These are not just headlines in the news. No. These are our fellow Chicagoans, our neighbors, family members who've lost their lives. These are 19 families whose lives are forever altered. And 19 families who woke up this morning without a son, without a daughter, without a mother.
Don't it seem like he just repeat this? It's like the same sentiment. He just, you know, same speech.
Without a father, without an aunt, without an uncle. Over 100 people whose lives will never be the same. Whose next chapter in life is recovery and healing from this violence. These 100 people are members of families and communities, numbering in the thousands, who are also feeling the devastation and the impact of the incessant violence in the city of Chicago. I know all too well how this shows up, as I've often encountered the trauma in my classroom with my former students after a violent and horrific weekend. As a father raising a family on the west side of Chicago, this violence we are seeing,
and I heard it was like over 10 shootings, 10 incidents of shootings on the west. That's crazy. You know, it was one that wasn't that far from where I grew up in the Austin area, where 6 people had got shot. Teenagers. They wasn't a couple of teenagers, couple of grown-ups. They were all young.
Very close to home. This violence plaguing our community, it is deeply personal. This is not about just simply tallying our pain. This violence that happened this weekend did not happen in a vacuum, however. No, it didn't. We are standing here today talking about a violent weekend because of generations of disinvestment.
Yes, I agree with you. You're right. It's wrong.
And deep disenfranchisement in the exact communities where so much of the violence is taking place. But we are here to say emphatically that this is enough.
You notice they keep saying, I kind of agree with him, because later on, actually, they challenged him on that. There was some good questions and there was some horrible ones, but it's, you know, I'm in the middle with that, because we really know what happened to us with the communities that we once had in Chicago, how it ended up being the way it is now. And that's just not from disinvestment. You know, welfare, taking the father out of the community, period. That's what happened. And they love not to talk about that. I think the superintendent he wants to speak on it, but I don't think he wants the backlash. But he just dodged it all. You know, this is what the Democrats do. They just dodge that shit. They dodge it. They don't even bring it up. They just like, oh, you know, disinvestment, racism, you know, but y'all been in power in Chicago for like 80 years. But you know, it's the other past administration. They ain't got nothing to do with Brandon. You know, they were white. or whatever. So Italians. So
It's enough. When this reckless violence ravages across our city at this magnitude, we are losing a piece of the soul of Chicago. And it deeply pains me to admit that, but it is true. But I will not stand idly by. We will not be passive in this moment. We need to ensure that we are holding every single individual accountable for the pain and trauma and the torment that they have caused in this city.
you know something, I think he will do the same thing Lori did. I'm willing to bet he's going to do the exact same thing. He's just going to have these cops out there just sitting in their cars with the lights flashing, and they still going to be running rampant, still shooting up blocks. Watch. To just turn around and say, well, they're out there.
There will be consequences. There will be consequences for the violence. We will not let criminal activity ruin.
Nope. Don't believe it. Nope. Now, let me say this. The idiots that, shot up the house with the 2 women and, the 3 kids with 4 kids, they're going to get caught. They're going to catch them. But these other ones that really didn't, that really didn't make the news, like as detailed as that with the 2 mothers and kids, is nothing going to happen. Nothing's, nothing. If it doesn't really involve like young kids and, women, especially it was just males, which them kids, I don't know about the 1-year-old, but the rest of the other 3 boys, 8-year-old, that was a young boy. And the other 2 that's just in critical condition in the hospital, also were both boys. But teenagers and up, black men, black boys like that, black teenagers and men, no, they're not going to solve that. They're not going to solve that.
And harm our city. And I know that our Chicago Police Department is working nonstop to catch those who have committed these heinous crimes. We also need to double down on our efforts to get guns off our streets. When a 16-year-old has access,
he hasn't got rid of it yet. The spot shotter, no, he ain't got rid of it yet. Actually, they go ask him about that too. Look, these reporters. This is why I want to play this, because the reporters actually came at them. They, I don't know how everybody. This is like, because people was making quick little 10-minute videos. Look what he said, and they didn't listen to his full press conference. They really came at Brandon Johnson towards the end. Like the questions, you could tell. I kind of like with Biden and the press secretary again. Her anyway. But yeah, they was pressing Brandon.
access to an AK-47, the violence began well before that weapon reached the hands of young people across this city and across this country.
See, it's always excuses of what's going on. See, it's the guns. Didn't I talk about this before? It's the guns. It's the guns killing people. Not the people killing people. It's the guns. It's nothing but excuses from this dude. Like, seriously.
Right now, our streets are filled with illegal guns. It is far too easy in Chicago to go out and get an illegal gun. This has to change. And I know our federal partners at the Crime Gun Information Center will continue to work hand in glove with the Chicago Police Department to track crime guns and hold people who are choosing to wreak havoc on my streets accountable. And finally, I want to announce that I have personally taken steps to ensure that our city is getting all of the resources that it needs from the federal government. And prior to this weekend, my administration took the necessary steps to prepare for what has been historically violent weekends. By making sure that we are coordinating the coverage with Chicago Police Department, Community Violence Intervention, all the professionals in these areas of expertise to make sure that we are addressing the higher levels of violence that tends to take place during the holidays. And last month,
You know what's crazy? Also, they talked about this story that I didn't even know about. That two females got in a fight, and the one female stabbed the other one, and then I don't know, somehow she had a gun on her or something, and she shot the other woman, and the woman that had the gun, it was a legal person. She was a legal holder of guns. It's not always about being illegal. Now, I don't know, towards they didn't really get in great details of this, and it's always like just the illegal guns. No, it's people with legal guns. That's you don't know. There's probably out here doing the shooting too. You don't know that. Because that's, like I said, that's why you don't catch them. You don't know.
I called on our federal partners to respond to the mass shootings in the city of Chicago. And I've called upon them to respond to the mass shootings like we've experienced in Chicago, just like they do in other places in this country. And I'm hopeful that our ongoing discussions will ensure that our state partners, as well as our federal partners, will swiftly come to the support of the city of Chicago. The city cannot afford to wait any longer. The full force of government is activated to step up to stop the violence, and we need more support. And I know that the Chicago Police Department and all of our brave officers will be stepping up to stop this violence. They are already working around the clock to keep our city safe. And I know that our community.
And they have yet to do it. They have yet to do it. But we're going killing me, man. They overworking the damn cops. They're going to talk about that too.
Partners, the philanthropic community, the business community, our faith leaders are all going to step up and work together to stop this violence. We need more of that. We need our entire city to step up in this moment. I'm urging all of you across the entire city to step up to say that we've had enough, to step up to stop this vicious cycle of violence. We all play a role because we are all members of these communities. Our city needs each and every one of us to lean and look out for our neighbors, to look out for our children, look out for our communities.
You made it. This is the whole speech. Looking down. Dude, you just couldn't come up there and just really just speak up on how you feel. You think I need to write any type of damn speech on some over 100 people getting shot? I'm like with you, Jay. I'm going in. I don't need to write no speech. That's how you know he full of it. What you writing a speech for, man? I would be losing my mind as a mayor. This happened. I would have lost it. You know what? I would have had the speech then during the 4th. After that, because over 50 people got shot on the 4th. That's why I actually put that out there. Over 50 people in one day. I can fall and go crazy right now. Come on now. I'm going insane. What you need a speech for? Anyway.
But let me be clear. Let me be emphatically clear. This is a choice. It's a choice to kill. It's a choice to kill women, a choice to kill children, a choice to kill the elderly. And these are choices that the offenders made and they calculated. And I'm here to say emphatically that we have had enough of it. We will be working closely with our state's attorney, Chicago Police Department, and every area of government to partner to ensure that we bring swift justice and that we provide at least a piece of closure
The state's attorney.
for the families. We are going finally block to block, neighborhood by neighborhood, to make sure that the city is safe and to ultimately stop this violence. It's because these are not just numbers on pages. These are our fellow Chicagoans. And this is unacceptable.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll have Director Brooks come up. He's going to talk a little bit about some of the programs that we have across the city.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There are too many Chicagoans who have experienced the trauma of violence. We recognize that when these crimes occur, the victims, survivors, are affected, their families are affected, the community as a whole is affected. That's why we have organized an emergency assistance center. At these centers, our crime victim service team partners with community organizations to provide support, resources, services, and information to those who need it. We are hosting the Emergency Assistance Center tomorrow, Tuesday, at Fosco Park, located at 1312 South Racine, from 3 to 7 p.m. Correction, 3:30 to 7 p.m. Through these centers, we set up a response to a shooting that occurred in the 1300 block of Hastings that left 8 people wounded. However, we are ready to serve anyone in need of assistance, whether that trauma was experienced this weekend, last month, or years ago. Our services are free to any type of violence, including domestic violence. You do not need a police report to receive these services. We encourage anyone who is affected by violence, both directly and indirectly, to visit the center and receive service and.
Wow, what the hell just happened? Hold on, guys. Give me, what the heck? Wow. Well, you see, when they setting up something to help people, because I was gonna let them talk, because anybody that need, whatever help they was offering towards with violence or domestic violence, to be able to, it's a center. Look at this. Look what happens. Well, that's a lot. So anyway, let's go forward. Wow, that was weird.
Along the way, as you know, this weekend, 3 neighborhoods saw mass shootings. Is CPD planning to do any adjustments immediately in those neighborhoods?
Yes, so what I will tell you. Thank you, Director Brooks. With that, we'll take any questions you may have.
That was weird.
My name is Jesse Echeverria with Univision Chicago. You said adjustments to prevent more violence will be made along the way. As you know, this weekend, 3 neighborhoods saw mass shootings. Is CPD planning to do any adjustments immediately in those neighborhoods?
Yes. So what I will tell you is that we did make adjustments. So here's what has to be understood, especially when it comes to what we refer to as mass shootings. We see this across the country right now, not just here in Chicago, and in certain communities when people get together.
Certain neighborhoods, and I wouldn't consider that mass shooting. I can't say that. I know a lot of y'all probably will disagree with me on this. I don't consider it really mass shooting, because like he's saying, like you said earlier, they be drinking and people partying, then one get mad at the other, then they start shooting at each other. So it's mass shooting is basically people gathering and they having a good time and they're minding their business, and here come a crazy ass motherfucker just coming up and just start shooting in the crowd.
Everybody has the right to assemble. As the police department, we do monitor those things because we know that there is a possibility that could lead to some type of violence. However, as a police department, we still have to walk that fine line so that we're not stepping on people's right to assemble. That being said, we still want to make sure that they're doing it safely. So what we've seen in those types of situations is people are assembling, and it's not that it's a group of bad people, but you may have one or two bad actors within that group. An argument ensues. The next thing you know, someone pulls out a gun, and there are more guns at times, and then the shooting starts. So what we do is we make sure that we monitor those things as best we can. So adjustments were made the following night and throughout the weekend, and we're going to continue to make those adjustments.
Joni Lemon, Fox 32. Can you provide an update?
I'm gonna try to go ahead and get this over with. Police can't stop these certain situations from happening. That's why this is what I was getting from other people, not content creators, just in general. Because, I just be talking to people, family, just, in general, friends, whatever, people from certain neighborhoods. Because we talked about one situation. When was that? Sunday. So, and it's pointing the finger at the police. The police supposed to be there already. Like the police don't know it. Listen, this is me. Y'all know me. I'm not a fan of the Chicago police at all. But I know, come on. They don't have the crystal ball or whatever, or the what you call it, to sit there and I think there's going to be a shooting right here on 71st and blah blah. Oh yeah, it's just gonna start shooting at each other. Yeah, let's just go. It doesn't work that way. Like he said, people have the right to assemble, and I agree. But unfortunately, certain neighborhoods, when they do assemble, they drink it, and yeah, shit like that happens. I think what he's saying is prior to that, once it did happen, yeah, they usually then they're sitting there on the block like Lori had the cops just sitting there. That don't mean it's going to stop anything either. Because like I said, I've seen that. The cops was out there, and that was on the west side. Somebody just started shooting. So, hold on. I'm already putting out phone. These phones are crazy. It's never what I want to see either. Always be some other stuff. But anyway, that was like the issue. Cops supposed to be there to intervene, to stop them before they start shooting. Like what? No, if you guys are out there and you see who do it, if it did happen, y'all know what y'all need to do, but you never do it. But then you complain. They be knowing.
On any of the investigations, have there been arrests? Did Operation Wake Up provide any credible leads for you? Is there a development in any of these?
Well, here's what I can tell you. And,
no.
And I don't want to necessarily bring.
No, you should have said no, Superintendent. Don't dance around the question. See this? And look how Brandon looking. Like, no, man. Don't put me in this. See, here's what I'm talking about. Like the superintendent, like a deer in headlights right now. Just should have been like, no.
Chief or city up for this. This is an ongoing investigation, and We have leads. We follow the leads that we have. They're still gathering evidence, still collecting information. And I will tell you right now, the detective division is working really hard on these cases, especially these the ones that are involving children. And as we move along, what we don't want to do is put too much information out there at once, but we want to make sure that we keep the investigation aligned with what it is that we're trying to do. So it's important to understand that we can't give out too much information, but what I can tell you is that we're working really hard on the leads that we have.
Hi, Sophie with the Sun-Times. You mentioned how a lot of these incidents occurred during celebratory days, large-scale gatherings. What's your response to people who say this weekend is evidence that the department isn't ready for a large-scale event like DNC Week?
Well, you know, here's the issue, and I'm just going to address this issue.
Look, you got to
When we look at,
I'm telling y'all, he was throwing shots at them, both of them, throwing shots.
what happened this weekend, we always like to say that it's a police issue. This is a societal issue. The police cannot be in everybody's backyard. They cannot be in everyone's home. They cannot invade every single gathering where there's a possibility that someone may show up with a gun. Everything that we do as a police department is based on reasonable suspicion to investigate or probable cause for an arrest. So what we need to look at is the responsibility of everyone in this. When people get together, we need people to understand that they can celebrate, but do it safely and responsibly. That being said, that when we know that we had someone who committed a crime, especially one of a violent nature, that we need people to step up. CPDtip.com, please give us information. And I'll tell you, most of the cases.
And once again, they haven't done it in decades. They haven't. Trust me, if that was the case, we won't be having this problem. Seriously. You know this. Well, like I said, we're gonna talk about it.
Is where we've been able to solve fairly quickly. It's because we've had outreach from the community. So to say that the Chicago Police Department isn't ready is inaccurate. And that's not me attacking your question. It's actually a pretty good question, and I'm glad you asked it. But everyone needs to be involved in this. This cannot just be the police department alone. I've said that since I started this job. It has to be everyone involved. So where we have the authority to step in and make arrests or stop violence when we have information or intel based on that, we will do that. We have done it, and we're going to continue to do it. And as we move along, we make those adjustments.
Next question.
I have an off-topic question, if that's cool. Yes, Carolina Garibay, WBBM. I have a question, and probably more for the mayor, about the Pride Month arrests that we saw at the end of last month. We have seen some calls from some of my colleagues and people calling to move future Pride parades to downtown area. I'm wondering if you can comment on that. Do you agree? What are your thoughts on that?
And I didn't even know anything what happened with the rainbow thing. I'm seeing it got violent for that. I said, oh, wow, okay. So, y'all know me. It is what it is.
On that?
So again, the city of Chicago, we are known for our celebrations, and Pride Month this year, there was no exception there. It was a beautiful display of an entire community that needs more protection. As far as how we celebrate moving forward, I have an advisory council. It's 21 members in this advisory council for the LGBTQ plus community. It's the largest advisory council that we've ever had in the city of Chicago. It's the first time in 10, 12 years that every single.
The largest, but we don't talk about the homelessness with the Black men and boys and veterans. We ain't got a big council for that.
Position or slot has been filled. I trust their guidance and their leadership as these discussions continue. we'll make decisions that are best for the people of Chicago. Thank you.
Hi, Alice Gidd with the Chicago Tribune. This is for both the superintendent and mayor. First off, given how many officers were diverted to Grant Park for NASCAR, is it a good idea to continue scheduling this event during one of the most historically violent weekends of the year for Chicago?
Well, what I can tell you is this, and then I'll let the mayor step in from the police standpoint. We looked at last year where we had a number of officers who were detailed to that particular event. We had significantly less officers at that event this year. We recognized that we had a level of security around that event where we didn't need as many officers. So we were able to scale that down this year, and we'll continue to do that. Yeah.
Thank you, Superintendent. As far as the weekend of NASCAR, obviously those were dates that we inherited. We will continue to assess how this particular weekend for NASCAR, how this particular weekend best benefits the people of Chicago. But I can say, to the superintendent's point, there's been strategic enforcement as well as strategic deployment throughout the entire weekend, as well as you might remember, me renegotiating with NASCAR how to support that deployment, right, with additional dollars from NASCAR. But no decision has been made on which weekend in particular is best suited, because I'll just say it like this.
Let me
Whether it's a holiday, as far as the overall economic benefit, again, there's a lot to be desired. And people mocked President Johnson. And we ended up, Black Death has been, now, as I said, I'll finish with this. We got to hold people accountable. Where there's poverty, there's just the ability to experience it. It can't be hear my kids screaming in the other room. That will be assessed and analyzed, and we will make a decision accordingly. Thank you.
Mayor Johnson, Sam Charles, also from the Tribune.
Hey, Sam.
Since the 4th, there were at least 10 shootings in the 15th district over the weekend, obviously where you live. I'm just wondering if you or your family heard any of those shots fired, and if so, what went through your head?
Yeah, thanks for that question, Sam.
He
Look,
wasn't
there's no
even here.
secret where I live, right? You know,
He couldn't answer that question. He wasn't even here.
I've shared this. We've had gunshots come through our home, right in my children's bedroom, on our front porch. You know, as beautiful as Austin is, it's a neighborhood that unfortunately has been neglected over the course of decades. Of course, we hear shots. I'll never forget a time when children were much younger. There were shots right outside our front door, and you can hear my kids screaming in the other room. My wife and I, we hit the ground. We're crawling to our children's room and just hoping we're not the headline. And it can't be that way. Look, there's a lot to be desired in this moment. There is. And what we've experienced over this weekend is unacceptable. And we didn't get here overnight. And everyone knows that. Let's tell the full story of how we got here. Because if you skip a chapter, it won't give us the ability to actually make the proper adjustments so that we can.
But y'all haven't. See, that's the point. You haven't. You keep skipping the damn chapters. You keep doing it. You're doing it. You're about to do it now. This is insane. This is insane. You know what got us here. You know it. You probably in the neighborhood. You probably the only husband that's in the house. The only father that's in the house of where you at.
Can ensure better, stronger, and safer becomes a reality. But the fact of the matter is, where there is most violence, that's where the poverty is most pervasive. And this is not just unique to Chicago. This is all over the planet. Where there's poverty, there's destruction and terror and torment.
No.
Now, as I said.
No. See, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's people that's in poverty, T. My apologies. That they don't live like savages. Let's really keep it. Let's keep it a buck. They don't. Usually is when it's a man or woman, and it's a poor community. They usually it's not as violent. It's not. Usually when there's the single mother element and a couple of other things, yeah, that's or there's games. 'Cause it don't matter where you at. If you're any area with gangs, now I can't speak too many places overseas because I've been to so many. But yeah, I've been to when I was in Thailand. That was probably that was horrible. And on top of that, they had small. I didn't get didn't see nobody. They was doing drive-bys, shooting people, and yeah, I probably seen a couple of robberies, but I didn't see the ish that I've been seeing in Chicago back then. Because I come from the '90s Chicago. I didn't see that. It was way worse there in Thailand than certain areas than Chicago. Than like a Cabrini Green or something. Way worse. I mean, it was like, oh my God, but they still had their businesses. They would come out in the morning and whatever produce, whatever things they could sell, they could sell. I didn't see people come pulling up, shooting up the crowd, and just, when I went to a couple of the clubs they had, one of those arguments, man, if you stepping on my none of that. None of that. Seriously. None of it. So come on, man. And I don't even want to talk about that. But that's a false statement, man. Just do that. That's not true.
And I'll finish with this. We got to hold people accountable. But you know what my ultimate goal is to transform this city so we cut off the pipeline of boys between the ages of 10 and 19 being either victims or the perpetrators. So, yeah, it is personal.
And he had yet to explain. He had yet to explain. I'm waiting. What you gonna do, Brandon?
Black death has been unfortunately accepted in this country for a very long time.
No shit.
We had a chance 60 years ago to get at the root causes.
80
and
years.
People mocked President Johnson. And we ended up with Richard
President
Nixon.
Johnson. What?
I'm going to work hard every day to transform this city. That's what it takes to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago.
Wait. What? Wasn't Johnson the one behind towards with the welfare? If I'm correct? This dude. Yo, somebody. Wasn't Johnson the one behind towards the welfare that basically destroyed eyes? Yo. This dude said Nixon. I'm gonna have to fact check that. This man, this nigga. Excuse my language, y'all.
I'm going to need everybody to step up and help us do that.
Yeah, Patrick Fazio, NBC5. Mayor, with these shootings and the violence we've been seeing recently, back in May, you introduced that comprehensive.
He don't want to talk about it no more. You see how uncomfortable he is? He don't want to talk about it. Look at him. He was uncomfortable walking back up there. He was, Brandon, you don't got the answers, man. You don't.
The summer safety plan, does that mean that plan is not working?
It means we have to double down our efforts. I can tell you what doesn't work. I can tell you what doesn't work. We all know what doesn't work in this room. Closing schools, shutting down public housing.
Oh,
Raiding
wait,
pensions.
whoa. What? Public housing? Did he just say that? Did you just hear him? Public health. You know, that was like a cesspool for violence. Wait, what? I just talked about how violent the 90s was. That was usually in public housing, the projects, the row houses. Oh, I could keep going on and on. Just this dude, yo, I mean, and he have yet to really talk about really was the true cause of the violence of what's like what's going on. Oh my God! This dude said public housing.
Not balancing budgets.
Oh my God!
We know that doesn't work. Everything has already been tried, and it has failed. And what I'm saying is, yes, we got to hold people
Democratic
accountable.
policies.
And I'm confident in our police department, our superintendent. Our detectives are working overtime. That's why I made a commitment to hire 200 of them. We're almost there within my first term.
See?
So we got to solve.
That's why I said they always put all the on the police. All the weight, if they don't go right, it's the police. Police. And you notice that be mostly these democratic cities that does this. The police gonna solve it. The police gonna do this. The police gonna get us out of this. You know, the police gonna get the city back in order. The police gonna stop all the murders. Police. Wow, this is it. And you heard the damn superintendent say, no, it ain't a police problem, it's a society problem. This is crazy.
Crime. And our detective division has stepped up and they're doing that. But it's not just policing alone.
Oh, really?
It's not enough for me to stand here and say homicides are down and shootings are down. It's not enough.
Y'all were saying it before?
What didn't work over the last 60 years, you're talking about a plan that we put forth in May over the course of a couple of months. Can't give up on the city of Chicago that easily. We can't. In fact, we should never give up on the city of Chicago. We're going to get through this and we're going to get through it together, but it's going to require more than just policing. It's why I've reached out over a month ago, I believe, to the federal government for community violence intervention, violence prevention support services, victim support services. Our state and federal government, we've reached out, we made it very clear. The support that we need cannot wait.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if this is working, but you can hear me.
I can.
Okay, great. Quinn from Block Club. Good to see you. You both called for accountability, help from neighborhoods, communities to help find some of these perpetrators. But what do you say to Chicagoans who see another violent weekend and feel jaded about working with city government, about police who don't feel like it's even worth it to make that call if they know someone?
Well, that's not our experience, quite frankly. I mean, the superintendent and I, we were out there, in the community where this mass shooting took place. Of course, people are grieving, people are hurting, but I didn't get this sense that somehow folks were giving up. They want justice. No, look, I know that there were a few cynics out there, but they will remain in place. They're a constant.
You know what? No, Jay, y'all this voting red shit. No, I do believe towards with Trump. I don't have an issue with that part, but just voting red for a Republican mayor, no, I don't believe in that. And governor, no. I know there's a lot of people saying that. No, hell no. Definitely don't believe in that. No. You need a mayor, and yeah, they don't have to. Definitely not to be Democrat. No. But you need an independent to come in that's really going to be about change, about really helping out these neighborhoods and implementing, laws, policies that, hey, we're not playing around. And I was going to talk about something else that needs to be added. And I think Brandon Johnson and I can't really say the superintendent. This is going to have to be Brandon Johnson to do this, even if he was, because I think the federal entity, what's up, OG, will help, will actually help behind this. I don't think. Let me say it. It's not going to be from the state level. Let me put that out there. I don't see that happening. But I think if Trump was to get in office, and if what I think that needs to be implemented to be, what I'm going to talk about, to be able to stop crime, because it will stop crime. Without, you don't need people. You really got to really depend on the residents like that anymore. I'm for sure the federal, government definitely will step in here. Seriously, I think Trump most definitely will give the funding for that. Biden, hell no, Biden wouldn't at all. So, but we need to stop saying a Republican mayor. No, that's not going to work. No, not at all. We got to get we need an independent here. So, no. It's a couple of names here that that's fine. I mean, that's cool. I want you to disagree. But no, I just said no. I don't. A Republican mayor don't mean you go change the landscape of what's really going on. You gotta. I wouldn't know. Honestly, they would probably come in and be like, well, and look, I don't got a problem with the Republicans. People be saying that's a conservative type thing. No, it's not. Conservatism to me is like family, businesses, like leaving the government out of the situation, which I don't really have a problem with. But you still got certain Republicans that just be like, I'm gonna leave everything out. Like if you need, because I still believe if people need help, you should help them. Americans need help, like veterans, they need help. And you got some neo Republicans like, no, like you seen the 2025 project thing. That's what I call it, neo fucking Republicans. And there's a lot of them because they was just saying, oh, we need to slow down the benefits for veterans. Because they about less government, really no government. And I'm not with that shit. I thought that was a smack in the face for them to even put that shit in what you call it, whatever that. That's sad. But I'm not for that. People need help. And I'm not a socialist. I'm not. But people do need help, especially veterans. And to sit there and put that shit in some type of I don't know what to call that project shit. A report that was fucking disgusting. Now I agree with the tours with getting promoting more families and stuff. Yeah, but how you gonna do that towards the black end, the black side of it? So, but no, you still need government, especially if you work for the government. And as a military veteran, you work for the government. So guess what? The government is always should be, what I'm trying to say. Because me personally, I don't care like what happened towards in your military experience. But if you're a veteran, you're a vet. And it should always be resources there for you from the government. Always. And and certain individuals like fathers, do believe, even though with the welfare situation that's going to be offered, it should be fathers like they do with the fucking illegals. What you think? They just giving it to the women? No, the men, the dudes are in the house with these chicks. This is facts. They're giving them houses here in Chicago, while you still got all these fathers, black men, black boys homes. Because they could still be in the house. But you know who kind of made that choice? I'm just saying in general. So, and Republicans would be the type that will come in with Chicago and be like, nah, ain't no welfare, ain't no HUD, ain't no helping nobody. And I'm not with that. I'm not with that shit. I don't believe in that. No, you help people who needs the help. And we know black men that need the help. It ain't just Chicago, period. In a lot of these damn cities and states. So no, I don't. The Republicans, no, hell no. You need an independent that's going to come in. He know what the issue is. Sit there and he can tell where's the violence coming from. Okay, from these certain type of homes. All right, cool. Look, your son commit this type of crime. Hey, you getting off that. We taking you off welfare. Shit, I'm the type of person, you shouldn't get welfare unless the father is in the home. You know? It don't make sense for any veteran to be out here homeless. We can, if they are suffering for certain things, okay, hey, we can offer certain programs and stuff. Maybe we could do the shelter thing, not these shelters they got. Oh man, don't let me start. I mean, don't. That's a whole discussion. But no, Republicans, it's not the answer here in Chicago. You got to get an independent up in here. You really do. That really know what's going on. And a lot of them do. I've seen it. The one candidate I was rooting for. But I guess he probably not going to come back. He's a little older now. That's what you need. I forgot I think he was running as a Republican. And I think that hurted him. Like, no. Be an independent. Yeah, and y'all know what needs to be done. We're not on that, red against blue shit. No. That's why I want an independent to come in and really just dial down, towards like the homelessness with the black men and boys and kids too, and with the veterans. And trust me, and yeah, be tough on crime. I know you're gonna be tough on crime, but that'll help. And then just holding these Keishas accountable. Hey, your kids, you don't care about your kids and you think you're gonna keep doing this shit. No Section 8 for you, no welfare for you. No. None of that. Nope. Start holding them accountable. I mean, you can't. They could run off that because these chicks up in this city and go crazy, go nuts. But just to kind of like, okay, hey, I'm about helping out black men, I'm about helping out veterans. I'm trying to solve the issues in these neighborhoods towards with no fathers being in those neighborhoods, trying to bring back the black community. I think, bam, that would be a start. And it don't matter if it's black or white. I'm just keeping it above with you. Seriously, it could be black or white. But you don't need to be a Republican. No. Hell no. These neo Republicans come in and they be fucking shit up. And I'm just keeping it above. They do. Like that last Redner or whatever, his dumb ass when he came before Pritzker got in. No, man. We don't need them dudes.
They're just a constant. But the vast majority of the people of Chicago, they know that whether it's policing, whether it's our community violence intervention, our business community, faith community, all these folks are out here not just grieving, they're taking action. And I'm making this appeal for everybody in the city of Chicago. If I know one thing about Chicago, somebody always knows something about somebody. Say something. Because it is a matter of life and death. Say something. Step up. Say something. And in fact, if you know that there are wayward youth who have lost their way, snatch them up. We have opportunities for them. I'm so sick and tired of losing Black boys to violence in this city. It grieves me fiercely. I got a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old, 2 Black boys. I never want to experience the pain of having to bury one, and no one should either. Our people are resolved in this city. It's going to take all of us, though.
Judy Wang, WGN-TV. The curfew for 31st Street Beach, have there been talks to extend that, or is that going to end today?
Well, as you know, I'm constantly in conversations with the aldermen, with the police department, with businesses that are over there. The ultimate goal is to keep people safe. What we have is a situation that is far beyond just simply a curfew. We do. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just, as mayor of the city of Chicago, tell everybody to go to bed when I go to bed? But, you know, the violence that happened, this mass shooting with 2 mothers and a baby, happened at 6 o'clock in the morning. Is that right? 6:30 in the morning. It's not just simply about curfews. It's about all of us working together to end this cycle of violence.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Jasmine from ABC7. I'm curious if this weekend has made you rethink at all ShotSpotter and the use of that, and what specifically, when you talk about federal support, what does that look like in your eyes? And I do have a follow-up question for the superintendent.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So for federal support, I mean, it's everything. It's everything from boots on the ground to public health support, victims of violence support. As I said before, you know, the fact that it's so easy to get guns in the city of Chicago and cities across America, it's, to me, that's the crime.
They was asking some good questions. I don't know how my mic just muted itself. I don't know how the hell that just happened. But they was asking some good questions. I was like, that was a really good question. I'd love to hear him on this one, but that's why he started off towards with the federal help. That was a good question.
You have an entire political party that is protecting a lobbyist entity to make sure that illegal guns can flow through the streets of
a lobbyist. That's our second amended. That's a. Do you hear this dude? Yo, that's a constitutional right, bro. Lobbyists. You, the parties are protecting them. No, you the party that's actually protecting the people that's actually doing the Don't have me go there, y'all. Don't have me go there.
Places like Chicago and Baltimore, Miami, Los Angeles. Like, to me, that is criminal.
Democratic strongholds. Are you telling on yourself, Brandon? Telling on your party?
They should be brought up on charges.
No, you should be brought up on charges. The hell? Do you hear this dude? Ah, wow. Yo.
You know, as far as ShotSpotter is concerned, no, it hasn't.
Just a quick question for the superintendent. Just curious if you can speak to the.
Did you hear him? But no, he was quick with that one. But no, it hasn't. See, that's what I was gonna get into, the technology. that he's trying to take away. See, you should be brought up on charges. Because you constantly keep saying the lobbyists, these illegal guns, and all this other nonsense. But yet, there's technology that even the superintendent said that works, at least to get the police to the victims, to try to attempt to save them if they get shot. That, that's been effective. And your ass sit here and turn around and say, well, no, I'm still sticking with it. I'm getting rid of that. But yeah, we should bring up charges on the illegal lobbyists or whoever that's bringing these guns as part of the guns getting brought into Chicago. I'm not, because this dude is a fuck. I gotta kind of watch what I'm saying, guys. So I gotta start being careful. What I say on here now. So, but he just he make you say things like Brad just make you just like come on, man.
Health of police officers this past weekend, off days were canceled, and obviously with Pride, I think that was the case there. Can imagine officers are tired. To say
yes, and a good question. Thank you for that question. It's important that we make sure that we're aware of the well-being of our officers. We've canceled less days off this year. I think we're down probably 70% in day off cancellations this year for our officers. We're making sure that we're focused on our officers. We had a plan going in to that Pride Day because, again, if it's predictable, it's preventable. And we knew, and let's be honest about what happened at Pride. Those were not your parade goers. Those were people who went into that neighborhood and decided that they were going to commit acts of violence, vandalism, things of that nature, and our officers were ready to deal with that. And that's what happens when we prepare. This is what happens when our officers are prepared. And when our officers are prepared and they respond and they feel good about their response, they're better off. They know that their time was served well. So it's not just canceling days off just to cancel days off. It's to make sure that our officers have enough manpower out there to deal with the situation at hand, and make sure that they keep down the violence. It keeps them safe. It keeps everyone around them safe. It keeps the city safe.
Evangelia Nubian on air, The Female Solution.
This was crazy.
Considering May 17th was the 70th anniversary that ended 88 years of segregation laws, the Supreme Court ruling that it only existed to keep the status of the Negro down and it was unconstitutional. My question, was Chicago's segregation against Negro blacks, especially black women and children, a factor as to why you did not have a press conference at the time? If not, what was the reason?
What the? This is why I'm playing this. These black chicks are insane. She didn't make no sense at all. He was like, what? He looking like, what the? Both of them looking like, what the fuck? What the heck? Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not necessarily tracking the question.
When the two mothers were murdered in their homes and 3 small children were left critically injured, one has since died, what was the reason there was no press conference?
There actually was a press conference.
You and the mayor was not in attendance. That's what I'm referring to.
Well, here, ma'am, when you talk about the initial press conference, this was something that occurred in the early morning hours. We get information out as quickly as we possibly can.
It's not even
Shortly
politics. I don't think they need to be in the press either. Some of them, because it's some actually black women. I take that back. You know, they be doing anything. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them. That one female, I think she's from ABC. I might be wrong. She who been pressing Tiffany. I mean, she wasn't the first. You know, the guy from WGN. Then he kicked this all off. But that black woman, you know, she somewhat been doing her thing too. So, other than that, this was horrible. This was horrible. What does this got to do with anything? Got this, you know, like, and she sounds like a whole ass black chick too.
Thereafter, we brought the neighborhood together in the Operation Wake Up. I was there, and so was the mayor.
I'm saying.
We'll go to the next one.
Good. He said, "Go to the next." He was like, "Get your ass."
Was there at the
Yeah.
and the mayor was not.
Look.
That's what I was.
Yeah, that is inaccurate. I was there, so was the mayor.
Well,
So we'll move on to the next question.
Daddy got to talk.
Hi, my name's Whitney Weil. I'm a correspondent for CNN. I just wanted to follow up on the DNC question.
Yeah, I know it's like the white women, they ask their question, blah, 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 and answer, follow up, blah, blah. Okay. Look at her. Then. Steady got to keep getting the last word. I wasn't there. And
a lot of the strategies that you had outlined in your first response are really strong reactions to violence, quick arrests, strong prosecutions. But I was in Kansas City like 8 hours after what is retaliatory violence spilled over into a large event. And certainly that is possible in any city where you're having a large event. So I'm wondering, what is the strategy to make sure you're preventing the types of violence we saw here colliding with a large event at the DNC? What is the strategy?
So here, and what I'll tell you is those are here in Chicago. Those are two separate things. One of the things that you'll find here in Chicago with our protests, and we've had multiple protests. As a matter of fact, we've had more protests here this year than I can remember since 2012 when we had the NATO event here. Our officers have responded very well. We haven't had violent clashes with our protesters. We've had our dust-ups, but nothing that made national news. We communicate. Our officers are trained properly in dealing with those types of situations. That being said, we have officers who are training specifically for that. All right, we're looking at a total of 48 hours of training for officers to deal specifically with large-scale protests and the possibility for civil unrest. We're hoping that doesn't happen. So our officers are trained to deal with that. Now, along with that, we have been working on a neighborhood plan to make sure that we're not pulling resources that are necessary to keep our neighborhoods safe to place down.
I kind of want to skip this. I want him to kind of speak a little about this, because I know some people were saying that they're not going to be able to protest by the United Senate. I disagree. I really do. I think they're going to be out there. They're going to be out there in some numbers. Seriously. So kind of disagree on that. Let me see. I can move this forward. Let's see. Wait, there's another question being asked. Hold on.
Of that, but the safety of each and every neighborhood across the city.
Sarah Schulte, ABC 7. I understand both of you guys were in the Grand Crossing neighborhood on Friday night, I believe. I have a question for the mayor. That is quite a few hours after the initial event. Were you out of town on Thursday?
I was out of town earlier this week.
We're on Thursday on 4th of July. You were
Yes.
out of town.
Yes.
Given the fact that is,
he said earlier,
4th of July is known to be a very violent time in the city of Chicago, do you think that was a wise idea to be out of town?
Well, here's what I can say emphatically, that my work never ends. It doesn't. You know, I accept the responsibility of 24/7 on call every day of the week. It's very seldom do I get a chance to celebrate, on a personal level.
But the point behind this that I didn't know was that the mayor was behind the police officers not able to call off. They have to do mandatory overtime because of him. I didn't know that. I thought it was the superintendent. It was him. But yet here he is. He went out of town. Crazy.
But you know, the communications between my office, Chicago Police Department, OEMC, our state and federal partners, none of that stuff stops because I'm out of town. Of course, once I was arrived for the entire weekend, as what has been indicated, we had an early morning call on Friday with our summer operations with Chicago Police Department, Chicago Fire Department, OEMC. Of course, I was there for Operation Wake Up and throughout the entire weekend.
Last 2 questions. Just, I have a quick question for either one of you on the crisis centers. We've had those before, we've covered them before, and nobody shows up. So I understand you're trying to help victims, but if no one shows up, is that the best use of city resources?
Well, there's other ways in which our partners connect with victims of violence. Our Deputy Mayor of Community Safety, as well as Glenn Brooks, they work very hard to make sure that these services and resources are available to folks. So any and everything that we do is for the benefit of people, and it is always worth investing in people. Thank you.
I could follow up. Paris Schutz, Fox 32. There were a few aldermen that told me they were upset after Thursday ended up being particularly violent, that there wasn't citywide communication on a plan. Were there adjustments made after Thursday, and was there coordination?
Yes, sir. You may have missed that response earlier. You care to repeat that about your adjustments?
So basically, we looked at everything that occurred on the 4th. We looked at the hours and the time of occurrence, and we made adjustment to officers' schedules. Right. Those adjustments, those hours. So adjustments on the fly.
Could you please, this is a question for the mayor, could you please describe what are those federal resources you requested for this?
Yeah, sure. I'll offer that one more time. So there are a number of resources. So it's victim support services. Let me just make it even real simple, okay? So remember the mass shooting that happened in Highland Park and all the services that they got? That's what we're asking for. That's all. What other suburban places get around the country when mass shootings happen like that, we're just simply saying that Chicago deserves that as well. And so I put that request in, how many weeks ago? At least a month ago. That's all it is. So if you look at the support services that places get when mass shootings happen, that's what we want in Chicago. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Specifically, I don't understand. What did Highland Park get that Chicago's not getting? Specifically, what are you talking about?
All right. So I'll repeat it one more time. Okay. Victim support. I got you. Victim support services.
Right.
All right. That's one specific thing. All right. Get that. Victim support services. That's what other places have gotten. We have not gotten enough of that.
I talk to you like you a child.
Community violence intervention and prevention professionals and support services. We have some, we need more. As I said earlier, there are illegal guns that are in the city of Chicago and cities across America. Now, we have a strong operation that's working hand in glove with Chicago Police Department, but we need more boots on the ground to make sure that these illegal guns that you have an entire political party is working to.
Yeah, you don't talk about the illegal people that's up in the city, though. When he just kept saying illegal, it just hit me. But you don't sit there and talk about the illegal immigrants that's here. That's causing all this fucking chaos too. In these cities too. You don't talk about them. Oh no, my bad. He gives them apartments and houses and shit. They get debit cards. Let me stop.
Protect that those don't end up in the hands of the people of Chicago. All right.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
That's Mayor Brandon Johnson.
All right. Let me about to end this shit. This will kind of piss me off. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Let me side of this. Listen, Brandon Johnson, and the aldermen and people that's at the city hall. You're gonna need technology to stop this. There's no way around this now. You're gonna need more cameras. You're gonna need to probably set up a program for people in these neighborhoods. Do the Ring cameras. I know that's kind of, certain people be trying to sell it, but you could add serial numbers to those or whatever. And the probably could stop that. But you're gonna need more cameras. It's just that simple. Instead of having cameras like within like a block, not a block, but a mile radius, you probably gotta have it like a half a block radius. You gotta have more cameras. You're gonna have to hire more techs. Probably have techs closer to the proximity of the cameras or whatever. You probably will have to stop putting plate readers to some of the main intersections. So, and not just, I'm just saying, not if they running lights and shit. They don't, regardless, they don't matter because the car's stolen. And less command centers, no, you don't need that. But you're gonna need technology. That's just happening. I'm not putting the full of other things because you have that technology out here now. Without that technology, the same thing is it's the same stuff that's going to keep happening. It's going to get worse. It's that simple. You know the people are not going to say anything. They're not going to speak. They haven't been speaking. Yeah, certain incidents, people really be feeling, some type of way about what happened, and they turn around. And for the most part, really don't be them turning around saying anything. Like the last incident with the cop getting shot. What ended up really helped the to get the guys that did it, the two boys, the cameras. That doesn't help. Most of your cases has been the cameras. So that is what you're going to need. You're going to need more of them, period. And you're going to need more text. I mean, yeah, more police will help, but no, more text. So you ain't got no other way around this if you want to stop this, okay? And then you're going to need a stronger DA. Somebody that's going to be locking these dudes up. Like if anybody shot over 2 people, I don't care, like attempted murder. Two attempted murders, that's life. That's an automatic life. Automatic. You gotta get tough. You gotta stop getting tough. Shit, I think if you rob somebody, that's 10 years minimum. Dead serious. But you got the cameras. Like they showed the cameras with the migrants, the illegals robbing somebody on the train. You see their face clear as day. And then if they do the ski masks, because they still doing that out here, okay, fine, then you got the plate reader, because they're just going to be running shit, the lights or whatever. But that will kind of help you to kind of get an ideal, hey, okay, it's plate, maybe the car is stolen. But it kind of helps. And then you can still have the cameras on other intersections that could probably read that plate from there, because they probably going to keep driving with the ski mask. So eventually they're going to take it off. You got to use technology that's out here now. Because like I said, these people, they're not going to say anything. They're not. They haven't. And you just go keep having this problem. You just go keep having these press conferences sitting there talking about, well, the people are not helping us. They're not saying anything to us. They've been doing that for years in Chicago. Y'all know this. So, okay, even like with the military, right? They depend on this technology. Why can't y'all? Y'all know what y'all need to do. But y'all don't want to do it. If you want to reach out to us with the federal part of this, yeah, I do agree with Brandon on it. Yeah, federal help, yes, federal help to give you grants to turn around, give you the technology that you need. Other than the little 400 million and this other bullshit money that you just wasted on what? I'm not gonna go into that. I'm not, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And they continue on to keep spending money on that. If y'all want to stop this, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That's why I say you need independent. You need an independent candidate because they know what they need to stop this. They know what they need. They know it's there. You got the technology to do it, but they don't use it. Why is that? So I'm gonna keep talking about this. I really am. This is not done yet. I'm gonna keep pushing that narrative because they gonna keep pushing this other BS. Well, they're not helping. They're not talking. They've been doing this forever. So what you gonna do now? And don't get it twisted. Oh yeah, I'm gonna hopefully get around higher ups and be like, okay, why are you not implementing the technology? Why y'all just have accident? You know, y'all know what y'all need to do. Put up more cameras, get more text. You know, y'all know what y'all need to do. Because how y'all think y'all been catching? Through the cameras, through the technology. Y'all know this. So, okay, hey, that's fine. You don't want to help. Y'all don't, hey, y'all don't care about your neighborhood. That's cool. You know, but these people not just for the, what's the name? Savages not for to keep coming through here and just shooting up, the whole block and just getting away with it. That's about to stop. And then you got a DA, which I think the new DA probably ain't gonna be playing around. Let's hope so. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, once we're not playing, you're not getting back in. Period. And we got the technology. We got showing you right here on camera doing this BS. And then even if, and I'm gonna leave after this, even with the cameras, you seeing them within, because some of these cars don't be tinted. These boys riding with that ski mask on. You see it, hey, you can sit back and, hey, officer, blah blah. We got a car, dark car with guys in there with a ski mask. Maybe you need to go check it out. Ain't no more excuses. Ain't no more excuses. The technology is out there. You want to stop this, Brandon? Hey, you know what you need to do. Stop wasting money like you did prior, man. No, I'm cool, Jay. I ain't gonna get out of Chicago. Yeah, I know, Eric. They stay with that on because they know they can get away with it. They do this because they know. They're not, these boys are not stupid. They know. That's why they gonna keep shooting up the block, because they not getting caught. And this BS, man, with this mayor, man, this black ass policies. No, we're not gonna keep doing this. We're not. And the superintendent, he knows. He knows. But what can you really do? But you know what? You got people like us can sit back and, for one, got a channel to speak out about it. But two, I can go out there and speak about it too. To a certain extent. Because they not going to hear me, but they're going to hear me. But I'm just gonna keep it PG from here on out. To be honest with you, because I know they know now. I know they know. But let's see what they do. But is he gonna be a one-term? Hell yeah. But vote him out? No. Come on. Like Jay, come on, ain't no voting him out. It's not happening. By the time they get that recall going in, he'd be basically done. So ain't no voting him out. He's here for at least another good 2 years. That's not happening. But at least you present certain things out there and you put it out there. atmosphere, ain't no excuses. Okay, what you gonna say? What you gonna say now? Sitting there talking about you can't get mad about or whatever the shit he's saying. Well, they're not saying anything. They ain't been saying that. They haven't been saying nothing. You know this. This ain't nothing new. That's BS. So always excuses from the Democrats. That's all they give you. Excuses. Oh, man. It's the Republicans' fault. It's bad. No. No. I mean, now that we can have a voice, we can speak up, period. Period. I don't expect Keisha to tell on her son. I don't. Sorry. It's not gonna happen. It ain't been happening in decades. So whatever, man. But you know what you need to do. Okay? And we really gonna stop pushing this. I'm dead serious. Dead serious. I'm gonna push it. You need to get the technology here. Stop wasting money like you did, which you're gonna continue on and keep doing. But no, I think I'm speaking more to the people than I am to Brandon and his administration, because we know what that's about. So I want to get the people to understand, like some of the people that do care. Look, hey, you got to sit there and then meet where he at, or where we can meet up with these aldermen as well. Hey, we need the technology. Get the technology there. Trust me, there'll be a big difference. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I really ain't got much else to say on this. I will be talking more about that. We see what, unfortunately, there's gonna be some more crazy stuff. So, but hopefully just reach out to somebody, that turn around that's probably in the administration or whatever, that be at the city hall, or whatever, and speak to them and be like, look, y'all know what needs to be done. Stop playing. If you go reach out to the federal government, and that's why I'm saying I'm rooting for Trump, because I kind of really, if I had the opportunity, I'd be like, hey, Trump, look, we don't really need the National Guard, but we need the cameras, we need the grants for the cameras and the techs to work with the cops, with the police here. Simple as that. And and a DA that's not going to play around. Anyway, y'all. It is what it is. I'm not people being scared. You say AJ Alderman. Nah, I can't be out because I'm not in the city. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely will see. So I appreciate that, Eric. But that's the route I'm going right now. Now for so all Keisha getting killed and unfortunately kids, involved in this nonsense. I'm not doing that anymore. I've done it for years. I've been following me for a while. I'm not doing that no more. Now it's solutions. And I've been doing that too, but now I'm really gonna push this, because the more they start complaining about, we're not telling. Okay, so what you want to do about it? Okay, you got to add extra eyes. And that's my thing. Get on out of here. About to be 2 hours on this. Don't forget, new people, if you check me out, please subscribe, please. Damn, pull the teeth in there. Like, appreciate the likes, and also, like I said, if you re-listen or you listen to this video, you hit, a lot of people ain't my lives. Don't, that's cool. I'll get my numbers up eventually. The replay of this, definitely support. Like I said before, I got something in the works. I got a big program coming up downtown. So, no, and it's just like not a one day thing. Like my other channel, y'all be seeing what I be doing. So it's huge. I need you guys' support. So definitely hit Cash App. Support. I'm dead serious about this. So y'all was be seeing on the other channel. This just gonna be me just, hey, what y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna step up and really try to help the people of Chicago? Or y'all just gonna keep coming doing these press conferences, making these fucking excuses? So, but more details on that coming later. So anyway, all right, y'all. I'm gonna get on out of here. Peace.